What's up, man?
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the 9 to 5. Today is just going to be the two of us. So let's just jump right into some good conversation. Hopefully it's good. It might end up being a train wreck.
We'll never know.
Yeah, you never know. All right, so John, what's new, man? What's up? What did you do over the week?
This week was actually pretty fucking hectic for me, man.
How was it?
Yeah, because so at the start of the week, it was kind of going okay. I felt like it was a normal week. Did my 9 to 5, went to work, filmed some stuff, and was starting to edit. But then right around Thursday, my fucking dog, dude.
Yeah, what?
My fucking dog starts, for the first time ever, he pisses in the house.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on, right? So I was like, okay, fine. I was pissed off at the start. I was like, I smacked him, dude. I smacked my dog, dude. That's
you
the
might
first,
not want to reveal that on camera,
that's
bro.
the first time. Okay, it wasn't. Okay, look, it wasn't like a serious smack to where you can like call SPCA on me or some shit.
Yeah,
but it was like it was like it's that little tap on the side of the dog to tell him, yo, dude, don't fucking do that, man.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And then after that, I like did a quick clean of the place, cleaned up his piss, and then walked him downstairs because I figured, fuck, like maybe the dog wants to piss some more. So I take him downstairs. He takes another piss, and then right as he's finishing, dude, he starts fucking pissing blood, bro. Yeah, and I'm fucking freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude? So I was like, and then I calmed myself down. I was like, let's look it up on the internet, see what's going on. They were like, maybe it's UTI, or it could be some kind of bloodstones or some shit or whatever. Like I'm not sure if I'm remembering it correctly, but it's basically some kind of stones. Right?
I thought I was going to give you like some horror story because anytime I look up some symptoms,
I know. I was like,
oh my god,
I was preparing for the worst. I was like, what the fuck could that be?
Yeah.
And then so after that, we just like took him to the vet, and then got an X-ray for him. But fuck, dude, because like this is my first dog here in Singapore, right? But X-rays for dogs, fellas. Oh, yeah. Fellas, you got to deal. You got to cut me some slack here.
Yeah.
That shit was pretty pricey, bro. So I was like, fuck it, I care about this dog so much, like might as well. Do an X-ray on him. Looks like he's okay. He doesn't have the stones or whatever it's called. It's most likely just UTI. Probably down to the medication that he was going through because he still has heartworm. He's actually recovering from it now. He has 2 more injections for that, but he was also under some pills.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, like something like prednisolone or some shit. Like people take it too. But it was basically like a hormone kind of balancer. It balances out the hormones.
Yeah.
So he was taking that. So that was the reason why he was drinking more water and he was pissing a lot more often. But apparently it might have, I don't know, it might have fucked with him a little bit. So that the vet was saying that was probably the cause of the UTI, the medication. So he stopped that, and then they gave us antibiotics, which is like, it's fucking crazy, guys, because my dog, what I do is like for medicine, I usually just have maybe 1 or 2 pills and then you just stuff it in a store and then you just eat it, right?
Yeah.
So this one, the antibiotics, they're telling me like the dog has to take fucking 5.5 tablets. And I was like, how the fuck am I gonna stuff this shit in his mouth?
And he's gonna hate it.
Yeah,
he's gonna hate it
because like they said, it has a smell, and that's even worse for my dog. Because if a pill has a scent to it, he's not gonna do it.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck this. I know this is medicine. I ain't gonna take this shit. So I have to stuff it in his throat. I have like stuff it in his mouth. But that's 5 pills. So I was like a bit hesitant. I was like, maybe I'll just split it.
Why not just put all 5 in your hand? Just like down this motherfucker.
No, that's what I was thinking, right? So first I was thinking maybe I'll do it in like 2 segments, like do 3 first, then do 2.5. Once I got all the pills together, I was like, fuck, I'm too fucking lazy to do this in 2 steps. I just took all 5.5, opened his mouth, stuffed it in, and he took it like a man. I was like, God damn.
Oh, he did,
yeah, he did. I was like,
that's good, man. That's good.
Excellent. You're a good dog.
That's good. Because my dog is nowhere like that.
Almost forgot, dude. Yeah. You know what's crazy? So I got an X-ray for the dog, right? You know what we found? We found a fucking bullet in his, like, there's a fucking, it's not a real bullet, but it's it looks like a BB gun pellet.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And it was on his right hind leg.
Yeah.
And then when we got the X-ray, I was like, "What the fuck is that? Why is it in there?" So the vet was saying, I don't know, it was probably like from when he was a stray dog or something. Some bastard probably shot him or whatever.
Because your dog is a rescue dog.
Yeah,
right?
my dog isn't. Yeah, I adopted him. And then I was like, but I don't see how that could penetrate, unless of course the fucker was, it was probably point blank.
Let me tell you something. I've played with a lot of BB guns in my life. When I was living in Taiwan,
I did too.
Dude,
but I don't know how it can penetrate that way.
Dude, that shit. Definitely, if you like do some modifications to it,
true.
and use like the right kind of BBs, the heavy ones,
Yeah.
you could definitely. I mean, even on me, like it drew blood on me. I use like all legal parts. It drew blood on me, and it hurts like.
Especially
hell.
if it's point blank. Oh, son of a bitch, dude.
Yeah. Use
like
one of those
right out of the
gas-powered-
fucking out of the fucking barrel, and it just dents you, dude.
And use one of those like gas powered one where you use like the highest, like I think it's like carbon dioxide gas or something.
Yeah.
That's the one that's considered illegal, so you can't really use it in BB gun tournaments. Yeah, that shit hurts, man. That shit hurts. So your dog is a rescue, right?
Yeah.
Did it have any like strange ticks to it when you got it?
No, actually, he was quite healthy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, by the time we adopted him, he had already undergone a few things, like because we got Rocco from exclusively mongrels, and that's the first time I'm dealing with them, right? But I feel like they're a pretty good organization because they basically they're basically paying for all of his medication.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fucking antibiotics and the X-ray that I put him through, that was like out of my pocket. But his heartworm and his tick fever, which were his pre-existing conditions, they're all covered by EM. I didn't even have to pay for that.
Nice.
So that was great. And yeah, I think all in all, for an adopted dog. Yeah.
What I mean by ticks is like, does he have some strange personality things?
Oh, well, he does have, I mean, I wouldn't call it strange. It's just, I don't think he's very social. He's not socially trained.
Right.
I think because he was pretty much an isolated dog.
Right.
So he never had the chance to interact with other dogs or even interact with other people. So it takes him a while to get used to like kind of get used to people. But if there's anything weird, it's probably that he doesn't fucking bark, dude. Oh, he doesn't bark. At the start, when I first got him, I thought, like, me and my girlfriend, we were thinking that maybe somebody cut off his voice box or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because some people do that shit. That's fucking horrible, but whatever. It happens, right? But it turns out he just really doesn't like to bark.
Yeah.
Because one night we were going to sleep, and the dog actually was already asleep. And he was like barking in his dream, dude. Like he was in his sleep, he was like barking. I was like, that's cute.
Yeah. But that's definitely a good thing, man. Because my dog barks nonstop. My dog is adopted as well.
Yeah.
We got him when he was like 1 year old, and he already had like some strange behavioral problems.
Yeah.
Like first of all, he's afraid of guitars. For me, my profession.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but he loves.
Did he get used to
meeting-
it, though?
No. He never
Still?
got used to it. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like the sound of it, or maybe someone back then beat him with a guitar or something. I'm not sure, man.
Fuck.
But I know for sure. Like, okay, he loves meeting new people to a point where it's like a little bit too much because he'll go super hyper. He's a Cocker Spaniel, so you know Cocker Spaniels, when they go super hyper.
Yeah.
It's annoying. It's annoying. Yeah, unless the guy is carrying a guitar, then he will like say for example the guy is here, my dog will run up, won't even get in contact with him and just jump around like that, like, oh hi, but I don't want to touch you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's like, dude, that's just one of the many strange problems my dog has. But yeah, like when you were mentioning all the X-ray, the bills and all.
Yeah,
I totally understand, man. Because my dog has been in for surgery like I think 3 times already. Because he ate some shit off the street, and because he's a small dog, he ate a durian seed once.
Ooh.
So you can't because the size of a durian seed.
He can't digest that,
Yeah,
right?
he can't digest it, so it got stuck in his intestines, and then you just have to pay for an X-ray, find out where it is, and then get surgery.
Get that.
Dude,
Get that
3
out.
times, man. Each surgery is like
Yeah.
a few $1,000.
Yeah.
A few $1,000. Oh, but let me say something though. there was one time he was having some issues with his joints, and they prescribed him glucosamine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The animal version of it was like $60 for like maybe like 10 pills.
Mm-hmm.
But you could easily get that, like get the human replacement and just give them
And
the
it would
human
work the
version.
same way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So that's what you did.
Yeah, that's what we did. And he's fine. He's fine right now. Yeah. So
no, because there's like for sure some human medication that you can buy that would totally work well for the dog anyway.
I mean, like when we looked at the ingredients on his medication, it just straight up said glucosamine. Then we were like, yeah, we have glucosamine anyway, so just give him what we use.
Well, dude.
And he loves it as well.
Yeah.
Like
what?
The
A
way
dog that likes medication?
No, my dog loves food.
Okay.
Like he will just like hound you, like he'll just follow you around whenever you have food.
Yeah.
Even if he knows that he's not gonna get any, he's just gonna follow you around and just like hope that you drop some. You know? He's just one of those kinds of dogs.
And he's like super hyper when he's following you around or something?
It depends on who. With me, he's a lot more well behaved because like.
So like he'll just wait there.
Because I don't really give in to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like a small kid. Like you tell him no a few times in a row, and then he'll be like, "Oh, okay, I understand. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just hope you drop some food instead."
Yeah.
But the way to get him to eat his medicine, I realized was you act like it's a treat, right? You fucker. You just hold it in your hand, like don't let him smell it. Don't let him smell it, because if he smells it, he knows like it's not food. Then like once he's all hyped up, right, just toss it in the air, he'll try to like jump and grab it. And that's it. That's how we feed him his medicine, man.
Faking it.
Yeah, just fake it and he'll go for it. He's just
my dog's too smart for that shit.
Yeah,
dude.
and your dog sounds like your dog is not super like.
No, he's not hyper.
Yeah, he's not hyper at all, because I met your dog before. But he's also not like the kind that will. He's not greedy, right? Yeah. Yeah, because my dog is greedy. If I just left a whole bunch of food out for him,
gone.
Even if he's full, he's just gonna keep eating.
Yeah.
He's just a greedy dog, man.
Yeah.
He's a greedy dog.
No, I've seen my dog. Like there was this one time we were still trying to figure out his meals.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out his meals, and then one time I kind of put up too much food. He stopped. He's like, I'm done. I'm not gonna eat anymore. I'm not greedy, bro. I gotta maintain my weight. Like, what are you doing?
Much respect to Rocco. Much respect.
Yeah, like damn.
I mean, I've had a few dogs over my lifetime, and I would say almost all of them are pretty greedy except for one. But this one is the greediest.
Oh,
I swear, man. This one is the greediest. You can get him to do anything when you have food. And I feel like part of it comes down to because of Cocker Spaniels hunting dogs. So like, I don't know. Maybe that's just how they're bred. So they're like super sensitive and super motivated by food. Yeah. But yeah, don't get a Cocker Spaniel.
End of the day, don't get a Cocker Spaniel.
Yeah, honestly, it's just way too much energy to handle. Yeah. Like I would go jogging with him for 45 minutes.
And he still wants to go after that.
And he's ready to go. Because like sometimes when he goes crazy, because my dog can go crazy. I mean, you've seen how my dog goes crazy. Yeah. Like just a bird flying across, he'll just go insane. He'll start barking non-stop for like a straight 15 minutes straight. Yeah.
Even after the bird's long gone, like, motherfucker, come back.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you. It's lucky that your dog doesn't bark too much.
No, I always, like, every day, dude.
Yeah.
Every day I'm thinking, damn, we're fucking lucky getting
a
dog like this, dude.
Because like if your dog barks like my dog, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so sometimes when he gets too hyper, what I'll do is I'll bring him out for a run. And then there was one time because my mom decided to bring chickens back home. Yeah, chickens. She wanted to breed chickens. And I guess Cocker Spaniels get extra crazy when they see chickens.
Oh my god, feathers. Oh my god.
Yeah, noise. Oh my god. You know how noisy it was? Because like the chickens would be just going mad, like like non-stop. And then my dog would just be barking in the background like non-stop as well. Jesus,
I bet your neighbors fucking hated you at that point
pissed, in time, man. They were pissed. They complained. Yeah, so my dog was going mad with the chickens. Yeah. And then I decided to bring it out for a run for 45 minutes. It wasn't even 45 minutes, might have been an hour just around my neighborhood.
Yeah, just to get him tired, right?
Yeah. Like I went like 5 rounds around my neighborhood. I came back, motherfucker went crazy again when he saw chickens like that. I was like, well, I gave up. This, you know what?
Can't do anything about that. No.
Yeah. It's just in him. But thankfully we got rid of the chickens. But he did get a bit better.
Did you eat the chickens?
See, That's the thing, we didn't.
What the
It's such a
fuck are you
waste.
doing?
Yeah, it's such a waste because what we wanted to do is we wanted to, because we had 4. Oh, by the way, actually we had 6. Or was it 7? I think we were at 7 actually.
Okay.
But my dog Russ, he killed 3 of them. I'm telling you, man, this guy is a savage. This guy is a savage. He's a hunting dog, so like, I can't fault him for it. You know, like if he sees the opportunity, he's gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So we had 7 now. Then we had 4 left after Russ decided to murder. Oh, by the way, when he got those chickens, right, the funniest thing was, right, well, the rest of the chickens were in the coop and they all watched. So it's just a big ass.
I'm just trying to imagine it right now, dude.
No, because one of them
like the fucking
over.
homie's like, yeah, like there's Dave, man.
No. They were not.
There's Dave.
They were
He's
not
dead
chill.
now, bro.
They were not chill, man. They were going nuts.
They were going nuts. Oh my
nuts.
god, there's fucking Dave.
Fuck.
I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one.
Yeah, and yeah, the chickens were watching, so it was damn noisy. I came down, I saw Russ just like killing one of the chickens. Then I was like, I guess circle of life. You know, circle of life. This is what it is, you know.
Dude, try telling that to a vegan.
Yeah, I mean, but okay, you and I have been through NS. You know, we've been in the jungle and we've seen what. I mean, we haven't seen like a lot of it, but you've gotten a taste of what living in nature is like and what being back in the food chain feels like.
Yeah.
You know, you see a snake, you're like, holy shit, and then you see a snake eat like a
fuck
rat.
am I doing?
Yeah, like, I mean, I guess like for people who are vegans, they're thinking like, oh, the poor animals, but to be honest, in the wild, it's way crazier. You know, it's not like the other animals treat them like better. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's a lot better than living on a farm, like a chicken farm, where they're like stacked on top of each other.
And like fucking separate cages and shit.
Yeah,
yeah. That definitely doesn't look good, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so but back to the chicken. So we were supposed to kill at least one.
Yeah.
To eat it for all the hard work, because I swear to you, it's not just hard work. It's tolerance as well, because those motherfuckers wake up at 4 in the morning,
and then they start calling like,
hey, and it's
looks like it's time to start the day, dude.
See, it's loud enough, right, that if you wake up in the middle of the night and you hear it, you won't go back to sleep, because not just because it's loud, because it's consistent. Yeah. It's like, you know, the Chinese water torture where you're lying down and then they drip a drop of water on you every few seconds, dude. It's the same feeling. It's just
well,
like,
I wouldn't say I've felt that before, but I can understand what you're saying.
I would imagine it's the same. Yeah, let me just say it's the same. Yeah, I'm not gonna look it up. I believe it's the same. Okay. Like, just when you think you're about to fall asleep again, it's 4 in the fucking morning. You're like, okay, I gotta go train, or I gotta go work tomorrow morning. And then like you wake up, oh shit, it's like damn chicken again. Yeah. Just as you're about to fall asleep, like a minute later, the fucker like makes some noise again. Yeah. And it's not just one. It's like all 4 of them. Yeah,
because when one wakes up, everyone else is like, I gotta do this now too.
Yeah, that's my job, man. That's my job. Yeah, so we wanted to kill one, but then
wait, all male chickens or
no,
like females?
We had one male. We had one male, but the females would make just as much noise as the male. Yeah.
Did you get any eggs out of them though?
Yeah, we did. We got a few. They're quite small. But
yeah, and they're all like different sizes too. That's what people don't really know. Yeah. Like, you know, when a chicken lays eggs, it's like the ones that you get from the supermarket, they're all like hand-picked already. Yeah. But you actually have like a lot of different sizes of eggs.
Yeah, yeah. So. And
but that's fresh though.
There's a lot of torture as well. Good. The ones that you get from the supermarket, those were like
cleaned up.
Those were the product of torturing a bunch of chickens. Because from what I hear, it's just a bunch of chickens stuck in a cage. Yeah. There's like just big enough so that they have a bit of space, but not big enough for them to actually walk around. And then like there's a hole below, and then like the eggs just come out, and that's it. But yeah, anyways, we were gonna eat it, but then I guess my dad didn't want to, because I was all down to watch my mom kill the chicken. Because both my parents are like from the kampongs. Yeah. You know, so like I actually asked them, do any of y'all know how to kill chickens? Then my mom was like, yeah, I killed many before.
Casual.
Yeah. Then she was like,
Yeah, I know how to kill a chicken. Just chop off the neck. Just
Yeah.
chop off the head, bro.
yeah, that's what she said. That's what she said.
chop off the head.
You just chop off the head and then try to not let the body run too far away.
Casual. That's what my that's what my relatives. Yeah, that's what we did in Philippines too. Like, yeah, we would before, like, the thing that we would do is we would tie the fucking chicken's legs so that even after you cut off the head, it can't run anywhere. It just fucking flaps around, plays around.
Because
there,
they
man.
do run.
Yeah, they do fucking run, dude.
Apparently, I've never killed a chicken before, but my mom has.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I mean, it was just a bit of a waste because I really wanted to at least have one of those chickens.
Yeah.
What I suggested was, okay, we bring 2 to the farm, like 1 female and the only male.
Yeah.
And then one of the females, we eat it, and the other one we just let loose in our house and let Russ go for it.
Just let the dog have his day, right? Let the dog have a day, like,
because
he's a hunter. He has to feel like a hunter every now and then.
No, because sometimes, right, it feels like the chickens are egging him on. Because, like, you can see, like, Russ is just sometimes Russ is just chilling at the back, you know, like watching watching us cook or something.
Yeah.
Then you hear at the side of the chicken make sometimes pop.
Yeah.
Like calling him, then he'll look there. He'll look towards the chickens, and then they'll start making more noises, like puffing out their feathers, like, come at me, bro. Just because they were caged.
Hey, Russ. Hey, Russ, what you doing, boy?
Yeah, so, like, I thought, like,
come here, boy. Hey, you a manservant?
Hey, no, and the thing is, right, the chickens have seen us, like, punish Russ when he charges at the cage. So I think they know that when he charges towards the cage, he's gonna get in trouble. So they just keep doing it, just like to entertain themselves. But maybe I'm just like kind of like humanizing them a bit.
You're definitely overthinking it, dude. You're overthinking it.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. You know,
but I get it. You just wanted him to get back at the chickens for all the times that they fucked with him.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And they fuck with him consistently. Yeah, it's not like there's a few times. It's like every day. Every day they will fuck with him.
Definitely deserved that.
Yeah, he definitely deserves that.
Did he get it though? No.
Nah, he didn't get it because one day I came home and then all 4 chickens were gone and they sent it to the farm already. So you know what you're gonna do about that, you know?
Yeah.
But okay, let's switch topics for a second. This is something I actually wanted to talk to you about on our first episode. But I know it's something that you don't really like to talk about. But I want you to tell me more about your 9-to-5 job and tell everyone what you do.
Oh yeah, fuck it, dude. It's not a big deal.
It sounds pretty fun to me, but John is just a hater sometimes.
I am. No, we did actually briefly talk about it when we were talking on your podcast too.
Yeah.
Right? And I also did say back then that, you know, for me it's like, fuck it, man, work is work. I'm gonna do it. But aside from that, okay, well, let's just put it out there. Like, so my job right now from 9 to 5 is I do videos for an electric scooter company. I'm not gonna say the name, not because I'm embarrassed, but because I don't want to be liable for anything that I say. Yeah. You know, because a lot of it is gonna be.
Don't say it. Don't put it that way. Let's clear this first. I think e-scooters are great. I don't own one. I think they're pretty cool, but John is just a hater of e-scooters.
I don't know. Okay, so I had a conversation with my friend like very recently, and it was about kind of the same topic. Like, why don't I want to ride an electric scooter? And it's not for like fucking hating it. Like, I understand all the merits of having an electric scooter. You know, you have transportation. You can finish off that route from your point A to point B after you get off the bus. You know, get to your workplace without having to fucking sweat in this weather. I get it. Yeah. I get all the advantages that you can get from an electric scooter. It's just that for me, like, just after thinking about it for a while, I was like, that kind of transportation, it doesn't make me feel engaged. In the same way, like, for example, if I'm riding a bicycle. If I'm riding a bicycle, I'm like fucking pedaling, right? Pedaling. I'm performing the act of, you know, moving myself from point A to point B. Whereas, like, if I was using an electric scooter, I would just be holding this fucking throttle and just droning. Not really droning. You'd still have to be mildly attentive so that you don't fucking smash into someone, right?
Especially if you like.
But it just doesn't feel the same to me. Like, I have to feel like I'm actually in the act of it. I'm doing it. Like it's all me, my physical, like exertion that's bringing me from this point to another point, which is the another reason why I fucking love skateboarding. You know?
Yeah.
Because you know the act of pushing from point A to point B, I find that exciting. But I feel like if I use an electric scooter, it just doesn't feel very fulfilling. And I know you don't have to find fulfillment in anything, like in everything in your life. But I don't know, man. I'm still not at the point where I just want to be like fucking riding an electric scooter and.
But it's so cool, man. You get to blast your techno remixes of pop songs.
I knew that was what you were going
and
for,
flip
dude.
off all the pedestrians. Fuck you! I'm on my electric scooter.
No, dude. Like I was thinking about it. Like, I don't get it. Like even the ones who don't. So most of the time, you think the only ones that are playing the fucking techno music are the ones that look bang and shit. You know, they're like fucking. They look like they're trying to join a gang, but they're not fucking gang material.
Right.
So they try to be gang just from riding their fucking electric scooters, right, and playing the fucking techno shit.
Right.
But no, dude, I fucking see people like I saw a dude like 2 weeks ago. Suit, fucking tie, everything, fucking going to work and shit. Techno music.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here, bro? That's so out of the fucking. It doesn't even look like something you'd listen to. What is it about electric scooters and like fucking techno music, dude? Why is there a correlation or something? They just come hand in hand. Like I'm riding an electric scooter, I gotta be electric as fuck. I gotta listen to techno, bro.
That's a
What
good
is
point.
that?
That's a good point.
What
actually.
is that, dude?
You don't hear somebody blasting like Mozart or something.
No.
Yeah, it's always some techno remix
exactly.
of like some pop song.
That's
you know.
what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't add up. Like why? What?
Yeah.
I don't get it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm probably never gonna get it. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on electric. And I'm saying like there's, you know how they say like if you really don't like your job, fucking don't do it. I do like my job.
Yeah, I'm sure you get to
like
edit
my job.
videos and
You know.
be on the
It's-
forefront of e-scooter technology, which is actually pretty cool.
I don't really care about that part.
Oh, I think it's
just
pretty cool. Honestly, I think it's
No,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
for sure. Like, I mean, electric scooters, aside from, you know, what the general public thinks about it, it's actually a good step in the direction of having a less car populated country.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
So, I mean, after this, they're probably going to come up with a lot more devices that are going to be even better than electric scooters that could definitely, you know, replace cars, I think.
But they definitely have to get onto the whole bike lane and like e-scooter lane in Singapore.
Yeah.
Because like if they really want to get serious about cutting down the number of cars on the road,
Yeah.
which is like getting out of hand, honestly, you gotta go the whole bike or e-scooter
And
route.
don't give me the fucking bullshit bike lane that's just like a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
small part of the road. Like, dude, that's
Yeah.
not gonna keep anyone safe,
Yeah,
bro.
someone's gonna get killed,
Yeah,
man,
dude.
honestly. Someone's gonna
Like,
get
that's
killed.
crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen so many fucking accidents happen from that where people were like forced to hug a small corner of the road. Like, dude, just give them like half a lane, dude. Half a lane's a big enough space.
Yeah,
dude.
half a lane is probably big enough. as well.
Half a lane's a big enough space.
I mean, if you ask me, I would say like a whole lane, man. Honestly.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm down
Yeah.
for a whole lane, right? But I mean, with the way that our roads in Singapore are structured,
Yeah.
you couldn't possibly give a whole
Yeah.
lane to a bike.
Small
right?
country,
Yeah, it's
small
a
country.
you know?
But I have heard that there are plans in place to kind of like have more bike lanes and
Yeah.
more bus lanes as well.
yeah.
It's just that I mean it should come sooner because
They're
airline,
already doing it in specific parts of Singapore, right? Where
Oh, is
they
it?
have like I think if I'm not wrong, like Ang Mo Kio has a whole fucking
What?
like a whole stretch of just there's a pedestrian path and like a bike path, and if I'm not wrong, there's like up in Toa Payoh or some shit. Actually,
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Ang Mo Kio has had it for a while.
I think you're thinking of park connectors, man. There are a lot
No,
of
not even park
connectors.
connectors. Like that's an actual like normal pedestrian lane that they've purposefully built so that you have a bike lane and you have a
Oh
pedestrian.
yeah, no way. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of those, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say definitely we have to handle the car issue because like even at like 10:30 at night I'm driving back and I'm like, what the fuck are all these people doing on the highway? Myself included. Because it is jammed, man.
Yeah.
It is jammed. Like if you drive along like the CTE
Yeah.
at like 10:30 you'll see from more or less Braddell
Mm-hmm.
all the way to Ang Mo Kio Avenue, like 5 or something. It's just jammed. And from the exit of that tunnel right at the end of the CTE
Yeah.
going into like Orchard, from there all the way to like Moment is jammed as well. And I'm just wondering like how
when you say jam, like is it moving traffic,
Yeah,
or
it's
are you
moving.
just stuck there for like a good, like for example, you stay in this spot for like a good 5 minutes before you can move up?
No.
right?
It's moving. It's moving. Yeah, it's
I mean,
moving.
honestly, I think at this point in time, I think Singapore is actually still kind of all right.
Really?
No, I mean, I'm serious, because giving you a perspective from like from my own, like Philippines is fucked up, you know, like
yeah, you know what I mean.
to give you a general idea, I stay in a part of Laguna, and that is about on a normal day would be about 2-hour drive to Manila.
Yeah.
But if you take into account traffic, especially on a weekday, like a work day, and if you're going on fucking like peak hour, dude, it'll take you like, I'm not even exaggerating when I say 5 hours, dude.
Yeah.
Like a 2-hour drive turns into 5 hours, because you'll have points in that fucking traffic where it's just, you're a complete halt. Like nothing's moving.
How would you compare it to like KL traffic? Because KL traffic is mad as well.
I think KL traffic is mad too.
Yeah.
I think at certain times of the day, KL traffic can be quite close
Wait,
to how bad it gets in Philippines. But
give me a second. Isn't it funny how like when we first started talking about a podcast, we were like, okay, there are just a few things we'll never talk about: weather and traffic.
whoops.
Oops. But okay, carry on in the Philippines. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no, as in like the only reason why I was going there is because I think at the end of the day, like Singapore is still a step ahead.
Yeah.
You know, the traffic's only just about to start getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? But they're already, it seems like they're trying to find alternatives to curb that, for like, you know, that situation, like stop that situation from happening where you have fucking 5-minute stretches where you've been in the fucking same spot for like 5 minutes, you know.
And also, to be fair, so our road planning is just a lot better than many places. Like in KL, if you miss one turn, the detour is like 45
except in
minutes.
Orchard, holy fuck.
Yeah, Orchard. But
You miss a turn in Orchard, you're fucked.
But I feel like Orchard, the traffic is not too bad. Honestly, it's just there are a lot of cars, but it's never like really you're stuck there. You know,
it's not a standstill.
Yeah, it's not a standstill. I've never been in a standstill in Orchard.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've been asking a lot of people who commute using the trains or the buses at like normal rush hour times, and like because I haven't taken the train or the bus at that hour in maybe like 4 years already. Yeah, and everyone is telling me it's getting out of hand. Like they have to queue and wait for like 4 different trains to come.
Yeah.
Do you think the train during rush hour?
Honestly, I've been lucky enough that I don't have to take public transport during peak hour periods.
Oh, what time does your work start?
My work starts at 9:30, and because of how close work is from my house, I actually just cycle there.
Oh, okay.
I cycle there, so I don't even have to deal with public transport to begin with. And every time I have to take public transport, say I gotta go to town or some shit, like meet some friends or whatever, that's during a non-peak period. So I haven't had the opportunity to really get fucked up in like the peak hour.
Yeah, because our friend Vinod, who was on the podcast previously, or maybe we're not releasing the episode yet.
I don't know. It might be controversial.
Yeah, you will meet Vinod in one of the videos. Yeah. But yeah, he's been telling me that whenever he faces the rush hour at Bishan.
Yeah,
dude. He tells. I mean, have you been to Bishan recently?
Yeah.
So the platform is very narrow also.
Yeah.
So he was telling me like there are queues all the way up to the staircase where it's like, and the escalator and shit. So like, it just sounds like hell to me.
Yeah,
it just sounds like hell.
Like I've seen photos of people fucking posting on Facebook, like they're going down the escalator and you just see this ocean of people just stuck nowhere to go, waiting for a train to arrive. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's a nightmare for me.
That's a fucking nightmare, dude. I don't want to.
I've been to when I went to Hong Kong as well. Like that was the most human traffic I've ever seen. But apparently, Singapore nowadays during peak hour
it can get that bad.
Yeah, apparently
it can definitely get that bad.
But I went to Hong Kong. Oh, there's someone at the door.
Ooh, what's up?
Hold on.
What do we need? Oh yeah!
You know how long I haven't had Mac delivery? I haven't had Mac delivery in like. So sorry, were you alright, buddy? Yeah, no worries.
No, it's no worries.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, now we got a topic about McDonald's, so that's great. No, but speaking of McDonald's, though, I just recently had that too.
Oh, is it?
They had they have the, what do you call it? I'm trying to remember. The companion box or some shit where you get like 12 nuggets and like 8 pieces of McWings, dude. It's just fucking, it's everything that's bad for your body in one box.
You know, the nuggets in McDonald's are the most processed item
dude,
on the
you know
menu.
what I call nuggets?
What?
Questionable meat.
You know what I call nuggets?
What?
Never mind. Because I don't know whether this will be left in the video. But I wanted to say like amputees. Let's leave this out of the video.
No, wait. I'm not gonna fucking pretend to do that. I'm not gonna act it out, but I know what you're saying, dude.
I mean, it's just a mental image, right?
Oh my god. No, I think there was one point in time when I was like 19 years old or something, and I was just like fucking hating the world, where I probably looked at a nugget and thought I was like fucking people.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, let's jump off this.
Okay, let's get out of here before we fucking get too deep into it.
Yeah. Because I don't want to get shit for this. But I could go on forever.
Let's stop
let's-
that train from
so,
going.
so yeah,
let's get back to the actual trains.
Let's get back on track. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Wait. So what are we talking about?
the trains and how fucking crowded it can get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I was in Hong Kong. That was my first time experiencing like and it was in December. So it's like just a fucking tsunami of people non-stop everywhere you go. And then the place that we stayed at also was downtown, like right in the middle of downtown. So the moment you leave your hotel on the sidewalk,
You're fucked.
yeah, it's just like people everywhere. I don't know whether you've been to Hong Kong
I've
before.
been to Hong Kong.
Oh, you've been.
Especially during the fucking festive season. Christmas was fucking crazy.
Jesus
dude.
Christ, man. Jesus. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
I could never do that. Like I went there and then I was like, I told my parents I thought I was a city kind of guy. But
You're not a city kind of guy.
yeah,
until you see
now I
that.
realize like I don't know shit about cities because like Hong Kong, this is the city, and this is not what I don't dig this at all.
Yeah,
not
for
for
sure.
me. Not for me.
No, but I know of people who can totally survive in that kind of landscape.
Yeah.
Like they would have it no other way, dude.
Yeah.
I had a friend who he was living in New York, and New York is like that area.
To be fair, I feel like New York is nicer. Like I mean, the foot traffic is just as bad, but I don't know. It just feels a lot more.
No, because there's a weird system, right?
Yeah.
There's kind of a method to the madness. Like when you see the sidewalks and you see how like just how packed it is, you'd expect people to be going fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
But no, there seems to be like an ecosystem going on there to where like they all understand. You walk this way, I walk this way. We're all going fast, but we're all moving, so it's all good.
Maybe.
So they have kind of like they've got their own kind of system there,
Yeah.
so it works out.
Yeah.
But like, my friend just thrives on that.
Yeah.
Like he finds that it's what keeps him active, or some shit. I can't remember what exactly he said, but it's basically like when he visited his friends in where was it? Like I think it was in Minnesota or some shit.
Okay.
He couldn't take it there, dude.
Oh yeah. Dude, I used to live there,
Too
man.
fucking slow in Minnesota.
Dude, I love it there, man. I love it there. I used to live there for like 4 years, and I don't know. I just like the vibes of the suburbs and like there are lakes everywhere. You can go fishing. Only problem with Minnesota is the fucking winter is like negative 20 degrees on average for 6 months.
For 6 months.
For 6 months.
Starting from when?
As early as like October.
Damn.
Till as late as May.
May.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But average, it lasts for 6 months of winter. Yeah.
So what? Like okay, during that 6 months, where's the point where it gets the coldest? Or you're saying like in those 6 months it's just constantly about.
See, it depends
20.
because like it's a pretty landlocked place. It's the Midwest, so like as you move further away from the oceans, the weather becomes a lot more erratic. Like you can have extremes a lot more. Like near the ocean, the weather is always pretty consistent because the ocean regulates the weather. But landlocked areas in Minnesota is like more or less landlocked, besides the lakes, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah. So one day it could be fine. Next day it could be like negative 20. Next day it could be like and next day it could be like negative 40 degrees. I've experienced that once. That shit, dude.
Don't go out of your house, man.
No, people died, man.
Oh yeah, for
People
sure. What the
died.
fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's negative 40 degrees. You don't have any heat. You're fucked. You know? Yeah. So
no, that's why I was saying, like, don't get the fuck out of your house when you got that kind of weather, bro.
Yeah. So they cancelled when it was negative 40 degrees. In Minnesota, like, it snows all the time, even blizzards. Like, normally when you expect a snow day, you know, when it snows. Because I used to live in Missouri as well. I believe it snowed before in Missouri. I kind of remember there being snow days when I was living in Missouri, but...
Bro, we're just doing everything that we're not supposed to be doing, dude. We're talking about weather now.
Right. Oh my god, what has this podcast come to? We're talking about traffic now, weather.
Oh god damn.
Oh my goodness. We
got derailed.
I'm so disappointed. Dawn is standing behind there looking at us with a disappointed look as well. Like, come on guys, talking about the weather and traffic. Like, can you get any more boring? Yeah, okay, but yeah, I mean, like...
I just finished your story, dude.
So in Minnesota, right, normally when... in other states, when there's a snow day, like just light snow, they'll cancel school because like, you know, it's a snow day. But those motherfuckers are built for that shit. So like immediately...
It's just another fucking day.
Yeah, they have a system. They have a very good and efficient system because they expect the snow. Yeah. You know, so like immediately when it snows, then you see snow plows come out. And then many times I've woken up hoping, oh shit, it's a snow day. I hope they cancel school today. Yeah.
It still goes on.
But it happened when it was negative 40 degrees.
For sure.
You know why?
Because that's like hella erratic, dude.
But do you know why?
Why?
Because my school, one reason is my school, public schools in America, they're not that great. Let's put it that way, yeah?
No, definitely.
So, and in terms of budget, their budget is all based around, if I'm not wrong, it's property tax, yeah? So my school was not doing very well. So they will only turn on the heaters right in the middle. But at the outskirts of the building, the heaters are all off. So whenever I had to go for math class or something, right, I had to bring my fucking winter jacket. Winter jacket. I go to class in a fucking winter jacket. How ridiculous is that? Honestly, yeah, it's just one of the things about public school over there, which is, I mean, it's an experience, but like,
you gotta cut costs where you can.
Dude, there are so many problems with their public school system, and like when you go there as well, especially since I was in Singapore from primary 1 to primary 6. Yeah, before that I was overseas. After that I was overseas as well. After I finished primary 6, I went to the States again. And literally, like, I go into math class, I can fall asleep, I can score an A because everything that they talked about, right,
was what you learned when you were in...
I learned in like primary 4, dude. Like, they are just behind. I mean, of course there are better public schools out there. But this is just my experience with my public school, which kind of sucked. And it kind of hindered my education in a certain way as well. Because after...
You were basically like redoing everything you'd already done, so you weren't learning anything.
Yeah, I wasn't learning shit. Yeah. I would just go into class, fall asleep, wake up, and then next day there's a test, take a test, A. But I would never get very good grades. You know why? Because they base a lot of their grades on...
class participation.
And homework. You know, like if you just base it on like the exams and the grade and the tests, no problem, you know, straight A, no problem. But because they add in the homework, and I was like, just I just don't really like doing homework. Yeah, let's just put it.
Dude, I would have taken so much advantage of that, dude.
Yo, but
I would have been like the fucking typical Asian motherfucker who's smarter than all the white kids. But actually, you know, in truth, it's only because I've already studied all this shit.
The thing is,
like, hey, motherfuckers, I'm smarter than you. Actually, no, I already studied this when I was in primary 4.
Well, the thing is, I have met like a lot of bright people in public high school as well, and it's just that they skipped certain classes. Like instead of like doing regular like algebra or like geometry, they jump straight into like trigonometry or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, for me, I just couldn't be bothered with the homework because like first of all, I was young. And at that point, I was moving around the world a lot. So it's like, you're just not in the right headspace.
Yeah.
You're just like, wow, fucking sian bodo.
Yeah, at that point you can't be
know?
fucked, right?
Yeah, like all my friends that I made over the 6 years gone.
Yeah.
And then now I'm living in Minnesota. I'll be there in like 2 years or 3 years max. Then gone.
Gone.
And then I moved to Taiwan. Stayed there for like 2 years.
Oh,
gone.
you stayed in Taiwan as well?
Yeah, I stayed in Taiwan as well. Didn't I tell you this before?
No, you haven't told me about Taiwan, man.
So I was living in America for a while after primary 6. Then I went to Taiwan. The problem with going to Taiwan, right, was then my parents enrolled me into a private school over there called Taipei American School. They actually have like a sister school in Singapore, the Singapore American School.
Yeah.
And that school at the time was like rated like the second best private high school in the world. Dude, I'm telling you, the homework was mad.
Seriously.
It was mad and it was fucking hard, dude. It was fucking hard. The only thing that, I mean, I did fine. I did fine when I was in school in Taiwan. The only thing that I did exceptionally well at was English. Because like just English, you don't have to think too much, Yeah. And I converse in the language as well. And I guess it kind of like clicks very quickly with me. But their chemistry.
Wait, what? Why was it so hard? You mean like they were mixing different curriculums or what? They had like a different standard?
No, yeah, they had a different standard because I was in high school in America where I was like more or less 2 years behind, and then I go to Taipei, and then it's like literally like 2 years ahead.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like you jumped.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh
yeah.
my god, how am I gonna catch up with this shit?
So the fucking time you spent in America was actually to your detriment because you didn't learn anything new, so you were
But then
2 years behind.
But then after I went to Taiwan for 3 years, I went back to America.
I'm ahead again.
I did fine. And like, yeah, I mean, and I'm fine again. Like, yeah, okay.
Suffer through a few years and then go back to America and feel like the smart kids.
Yeah, no, but the thing about Taiwan is like that school, the homework load was ridiculous. It's really ridiculous to a point where like during like the parent teachers conference, they will have like the parents will bring up the issue of like the workload because you can easily spend like 4 hours a day just on the homework.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's mad. But to be fair, now I look at my classmates that were from Taiwan, they're all high level. One of them met Barack Obama, like.
Damn.
Yeah, so like.
So what happened to you?
I went back to America.
Yeah.
And and more or less after that, the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I went to America, and then I decided to say, you know what, I'm tired of moving. I decided to come back to Singapore alone, did my diploma, got my degree, and then I was like, yeah, enough of school. Yeah, too tired of that shit. But I did do pretty well in school in Singapore. Yeah, I did do pretty well in school. Yeah. Actually, we did a few projects together as well. Yeah, that's how I met John, actually. That's how I met John.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how much time do you spend in the Philippines, man? Do you go to school over there?
I did actually for during my secondary years. So I studied in Singapore from primary 1 to primary 6. I probably did I did a stint like about maybe half a year of my first my sec 1 year was here in Singapore. But then after that, long story short, my mom wanted to do a little business in Philippines. She had a few kind of ideas of what she wanted to do. So, and my dad was working here. So I figured, okay, my mom needs someone to be with her while she's in Philippines. I was like, fuck it. I'll go with her and then I'll study there so that there's someone with my mom, right? And then, so yeah, I was there for 4 years. And while I was there, I was studying in a private school as well.
Okay.
Not much to say, really. That was... Oh, shit, yeah. Actually, there is a lot to say about that. Because when I moved back there for 4 years, that was during the period where I was kind of just trying to find, like, who I am as a person. Like, trying to figure out what the fuck I wanted. Like, how old are we when we hit Sec 1? Like at 13 or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so between the years of 13 to 17, that's usually when you're trying to figure out who the fuck you're going to be as a person. Well, not really who you're going to be as a person, because that kind of goes around your 20s, right?
Yeah.
But kind of who you want to start to become. That's where
Right.
you're really starting to think about it, right? Like, this is the kind of style that I want, blah, 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 blah. Now, I got derailed because there was this really, 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 really hot chick in school.
It's always the
It's always the hot
It's
chick.
always
dude.
the
It's always
downfall
the
of
fucking
men.
hot chick, dude. And this was around the period where emo was the big deal.
Yeah, I know. I was in that phase, man.
Yeah, dude. I wanted to get in with this chick so bad. I fucking went down the fucking rabbit hole, dude.
Like how far down?
Super far down.
Do you wear eyeliner?
I did. I did.
Speechless.
I did. I went the whole fucking 9 yards, bro, just to get with this chick, dude. I didn't believe jack shit
Did
about
she like it? Did she like it?
No.
Yeah, obviously, dude. You're wearing eyeliner, Jesus.
I failed. Long story short, I failed in my fucking conquest.
Right.
But I still wanted to keep going because I was, and not to say anything bad about the people who like followed that kind of, how do you call it, like a lifestyle,
The
or
trend,
whatever, like
the
a
trend,
trend, yeah. But for me, honestly, I was the fucking black sheep in there. Like I didn't believe any of that shit. Like fuck emo. I was only there for the pussy. Dude, you can't deny, dude, the chicks, like, some of the chicks who were into that fucking trend and that emo trend, they were fucking hot, dude.
That's true. That's true.
They were fucking,
Hold
and
on.
I just wanted to get in there. I was like,
Do you at least
but
like
I never,
the music?
I never got in with the chick that I actually wanted to go for, but I did get a lot of other girls. So that was at least a console. Oh man, now I'm gonna get fucking flamed by a lot of women. For,
Fuck it, man. Nobody watches this shit. At least not yet.
Not yet. So, but I mean, fuck. Like as a kid, dude, all you want to do is be kind of semi-popular or like be part of a like a fucking a tribe, you know.
I know what you mean.
So you wanna as a kid, you just want to fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
And I figured, like, what better way to try and fit in somewhere than to try and chase pussy. So.
Do you at least like the music at that point?
What?
Like the emo music. Do you like the emo music?
Dude, shit. I mean, there was like Saosin.
Dude, Saosin, man.
Yeah. Or Saosin. Yeah,
legendary band.
Yeah,
even to this day, I still think they're legendary.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I like that music. And then there was like My Chemical Romance.
Mm-hmm. The Used.
Yeah, The Used.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't really dabble into it too much. I was just like listening to everything that other people wanted to listen to. So those were usually the only songs that I knew about. Like there was this band called Atreyu or some shit. Yeah. So
you know, from First to Last.
Yeah.
You know the lead singer.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not familiar.
It's Skrillex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Skrillex.
What was his name, dude?
Sunny Moore.
Sunny Moore,
Yeah,
Sunny Moore.
Yeah. He used to be an emo band.
I knew that much.
I see.
I knew that much, but it's like, I don't know. I never really got into it. Like even back then, while I was, I'm sorry, guys who were really like into that whole trend. I was just pretending to be one of you.
Dude, I was damn into it. You got to look at me when you say that, man, because I was damn into it too. I'm kind of offended right now.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was just trying. I was just pretending to be part of the crew because I wanted to get in some pants. I mean, you can't blame me. I'm a fucking hormonal teenager. I want to get in some pants. But at the same time, I did genuinely like the music that was going on there.
Have you?
I did genuinely like the music, and even though it was just like the music that my friends were listening to, I did genuinely like it. I liked it. I just didn't go for the fucking parts where you would like slit your wrists or some shit. Like I could never do that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I tried it once. Then I was like, nah, not for me.
What is this?
Fuck. Yeah, I'll keep my hair black. Wear my black t-shirt, but that's the extent of it. I'm not gonna fucking.
Okay. If there's any consolation, I didn't dye my fucking hair. All right.
Yeah, your hair is black already. Like they all have black hair, dude.
No. You know, there were people who were like emo, and then they wanted to fucking dye like a certain part of their hair red or some shit.
The tips.
I didn't go that far. I didn't go that far. I did go as far as like having that fucking hair covering.
So did I, man. So did I. Then you always have to like Flick your hair.
Dude, my neck hurt. My neck hurt from all the fucking like flicking of the hair,
Oh
dude.
my God.
I was like, how do women with long hair do it?
Yeah. You know, sometimes when I go back and look at the photos of me and of myself in high school, then I'm thinking like, what was I thinking? Long
Hey,
ass
but I
hair.
mean, you know what they say? It's like any person who's thinking about his past self from like 7 or so years ago, that you're thinking about a completely different person anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
because like a lot of things change in like a span of 7 years. Like even the fucking skin on your body, that's a whole different
your cells,
skin already.
Your cells change every.
So you can't really be too mad at that. You know, I mean, that was what you were interested in when you were fucking 17. I was like, I'm not even mad.
Yeah,
I'm not even mad. I got pussy.
I was interested in some. I have to say, I was interested in some dumb shit when I was a kid.
Oh, for sure, dude. Like a lot of people will pretend like they were never into dumb shit. We all know we were into some fucking dumb shit at some point in time.
We've all had blunder years, and I can see Robin nodding her head as well. I'm pretty sure she was in her emo phase as well. You know, like which one of us that were born in the 90s didn't have an emo phase? You know what I mean?
Well, probably the ones that were too busy studying, bro.
Yeah. Judging from my grades in high school, obviously I was not studying.
Too busy thinking about other things.
Yeah, man. But I mean, I talk shit about like going to high school in America and all, but I do have to say that it was only when I was in high school in America that I realized that you don't have to like follow a certain mold, like graduate from school, get a nice cushy job, and then that's it. You know, because like I remember very distinctly one of my friends, I was having lunch with him in the cafeteria. I've been in a food fight once before too, but that's a separate story. Pretty fun times.
Mashed potatoes were the best though.
Nah, man. Nah.
Dude, no, cafeteria mashed potatoes were like so fucking, they were so fucking mushy that it was the best to toss around because you get a lot of like bystanders.
For food fights, right. I thought you meant like the taste of it.
No, not
like,
to eat.
Way.
You never eat that.
This shit is not for human beings, dude. That's like combat rations in the SAF.
That's not for human consumption.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's fun for food wars.
Yeah. But anyways, I was talking to one of my friends and at that point I was only living in America for not very long. Then I asked him like, because for me coming from Singapore, like we have our ideas of like what our future should be like. Even from very young, from primary 6, they always tell you like, you know, study hard now so that you can land a nice cushy like office job, you know, show up to work in a suit. Yeah. That's cool, you know. Then I went to America and asked my friend, what do you want to be when you grow up, man?
I don't fucking know.
No, he told me straight up. He was like, oh dude, I want to be a car mechanic. Then I was like, my initial thought was like, what? Like, because coming from Singapore, you're like, what the fuck? Who wants to be a car mechanic?
Like, people want to have like the big aspirations.
Dude,
they have big aspirations.
Here, nobody thinks about working with their hands, which is actually something I realized that I love to do. I love to work with my hands. You know, like I like to build shit. I like to play music. You know. I mean, I see you smiling there. Yeah, I know there are a few other things.
I went down the fucking gutter, man.
You can do a few other things with your hands.
A lot of your hands.
But yeah, like I was saying, like it was only at that moment that I realized it doesn't have to be just that path. You can literally do whatever you want, you know, just as long as you like it. And then that's when my perception changed.
But I mean, you gotta also kind of brace yourself for it though, right? Because I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want in life. Like that's a freedom that you have. But you also have to be aware that sometimes whatever the fuck you like to do will probably not bring food to the table.
Oh yeah, for sure,
you know?
man.
It probably won't bring food to the table.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, you got to reel that back in.
Yeah.
You know.
But of course, there are ways to make things work out. I don't know about car mechanics in Singapore. I'm not sure. I don't work as a car mechanic, but I used to think when I was in NS as well, when I was telling my friends, I want to just play music for a living when I'm older. Yeah. And they were like, wow, dude, don't want to eat. And it's 7 years now, 7 years since I finished army, and I can say it is possible, man. You just gotta have a vision in your mind, and you gotta create like passions that, like having a passion for something is not something that you find. You have to develop the passion. You have interest for something first, but to develop passion for it, you have to work on the craft over and over and over and over
Yeah.
again. You know?
It's not something that's just handed to you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
If you really want to go down a path that not a lot of other people travel into, you better make sure you're fucking good at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you're not good at it, you're not really going to be able to put food on the table, man.
Yeah, yeah. And also what I realized is not only is it possible, it's actually pretty fun. Because look at what we're doing. We're just sitting down talking some shit. Like, this is the most fun I've had in a while, you know? No, besides last week when we did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you have so much free time to like pursue your hobbies. I would imagine it would be a lot harder for me to do this and pursue Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and pursue like picking up new skills for playing music and performing at night.
Mhm.
You know, it'd be so hard to do if I just went down the route that I was on, that path that I was on when I finished primary 6. You know,
Yeah.
I'm so glad I met that guy, and he kind of like just shook my world. I mean, we were only like 13 or 14 at the time, but it was a huge perspective change in my
Yeah,
head.
for sure.
You know, and
Yeah.
so nowadays when I see like plumbers, electricians, I'm like, that's fine. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's a decent job. And the
Definitely.
thing about electricians, they get paid a fuck ton of money, dude. Like, everyone thinks like as long as you work your hands, you don't get as much money. Dude, electricians like, if they want to approve a building, all they have to do is just show up, check the thing, sign. They make like 3K.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So like, I think there's a problem with the whole stigma in Singapore where we believe that the only right path is working in a bank or something.
It's
like
not
that.
just suit and ties that earn you money.
Yeah, which is also something that the government has been like working on. You know, like, if you notice, they've been trying to like push the whole like technical skills kind of schools, like ITE. You know, which is nice. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from just, instead of spending all that money going to get a
for
degree
sure.
somewhere.
No, because like, especially with ITE, I think the general perception of that school was that it was just full of delinquents and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the things that have been happening as of late have really been, getting rid of the stigma.
Yeah,
pretty
but it's
much.
not working though.
I mean, it's not working in terms of like the older generation, I would say. But I mean, the younger generation is kind of a bit more accepting of even people who are like coming from ITE. I mean,
Maybe younger than us. Maybe younger
for
than
sure.
us.
I mean,
Yeah,
for
because
sure younger.
our
than us.
generation is
Our
still,
generation is fucking whatever.
still the same.
Yeah, they're still the same.
Still the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean.
I mean, as soon as that's gone and like people understand that there's really more avenues in life that they can go through and still be able to put food on the table, I think we'll be all right. Like,
Yeah.
because
And honestly, some people might figure out that they love working their hands.
Yeah.
You know, like just building some shit with your hands.
yeah.
It's pretty cool, you know, and like, it's pretty satisfying as well.
Yeah, I got a friend who's like, I'm fucking proud of this dude. Like
Yeah.
he, so he's a skater friend of mine,
Yeah.
and he recently started doing a lot of woodworking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's what I always wanted to do, man.
He's like fucking dope at it too. Shout out to
Oh,
that guy. He
nice.
knows who he is.
Nice.
But yeah, I was like, more and more people are figuring out that they can actually do things in life that are very different from the from the norm, from the status quo, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it just boils down to how much work you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sure, you might have a passion for it, but if you're not really willing to put the work into it, it's not really gonna get that far.
Yeah, you have to put the work in.
You gotta put the fucking work into it, man.
I mean, it's like,
I think if there's anything that you can take out of like a businessman's fucking mindset, it's probably also time management.
Mhm.
Time management is like a universal thing, and I'm still fucking learning how to use like my time properly, to segment my days, to have a schedule, to be like, okay, this day I'm doing this, this, and this. This day I'm doing this, that, and that. You don't really have to have a set schedule. You just have to have a general outline of what the fuck you want to be doing, because if you're just fucking coasting through life, there's a point in time where you can't keep coasting, dude.
Dude, hold on. There's an app you should get on your phone. It's called Habits.
Yeah.
You can find it on Google Play. It basically helps you do what you're looking to do. Basically set like weekly goals. Like, say for example, you want to exercise like 3 times a week. You can set that in your phone.
Mhm.
Or like every week you want to make sure that you at least like I don't know, do something creative.
Yeah, yeah.
You can say it on your phone. You should do something like that. Get that app, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I'm still in the process of heavily trying to change the way that I think about my lifestyle, really, because for the longest time I've just been coasting, and I fucking love coasting. I'm one of those people who, like, if I could just coast through my whole fucking life, I probably would.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
The only reason why I can't really coast as much as I used to is because now I'm in a dedicated relationship, and I think that I have to be a bit more responsible about a lot of the things that I'm doing, and I think I'm failing in a lot of ways. So yeah, I am definitely trying to change that, and yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, time management is a very important thing, because if you wanna kind of follow a direction that is outside of the norm, you better make sure that you have a detailed path towards doing that. Because it can't just be that, oh, I fucking love art, I love drawing.
Yeah, that's not gonna work, man.
You
that's
know,
not enough. Yeah.
I'll probably just paint every day for the rest of my life, but what are you doing aside from the painting? Are you hooking up with people who can actually put your art up on display? Are you looking for people who are well versed in, like, the public aspect, to where you can actually put out your works, you know, so that they actually get seen by people other than your fucking friends? Like, your friends will always say, yeah, that looks great, dude.
Yeah.
You
I
know
what you mean. You know, speaking of artists, I have a friend who's friends with this girl, and he's collaborating with her. He's a pianist and beatboxer, so he plays piano while beatboxing.
Yeah.
Damn cool. He's working with this artist. I believe her name is Eliza. I might be getting this wrong. We will post it in the description, the link with her Instagram account. But basically, she left her job and started painting full time. And I just love seeing this kind of people, like, do well. You know, like, she's doing damn well for herself now, painting. And I mean, from what he tells me, I know she puts a lot of time into her craft. Which, if you are a craftsman, you will understand. Yeah, I mean,
you
like,
better be doing that.
For me, I was when we were doing our degree together.
Yeah.
Then, like, every time y'all would get hang out after school, but I'll be like, nah, I'm just gonna go home. You know, I was doing it at home. I was practicing 6 hours to 10 hours every
We never gave you shit
single
for
day.
that, dude. We always understood, man. I mean, Derek would probably give you shit, but, like, we were like, yeah, we know.
Okay.
You know what you're doing.
That's cool. But I mean, even till now obviously I don't have enough time to, like, practice 6 to 10 hours a day, but you still have to keep working on the craft, because that's just the nature of craft. You gotta keep working on it, and it is like a fucking bottomless well. You know, the deeper you go, the darker it is, because the deeper you go into it, the more you realize, holy shit,
you don't actually know a lot of shit about it.
It's like they always say, it's like the campfire of illumination. The bigger the light of enlightenment is, the bigger the surface area that you can see that you haven't covered yet. You know, so, like, the more you know, the more you know you don't know shit. You know, it's just one of those things. How much time do we have left on this? 5 minutes. Okay, so Robin says we have 5 more minutes. Are you done with that topic? Because
I mean, the only thing I want to add is that, yeah, for sure, I do agree with what you're saying, to where, like, I think the biggest thing is that, well, one of the things is to always stay humble, even if you're fucking a professional in your craft.
Yeah.
Because as much as you would like to think that you've reached a certain milestone in your career, there's always something new to learn.
Yeah, and there's always someone better as well.
There's always someone better.
Yeah.
You might be fucking 50 years old, but there's probably a 25-year-old out there who, like, knows a lot more shit than you do.
That kid is probably 8 right now, because, like, have you seen those Instagram kids?
Shit,
Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
It's nuts.
Every time I look at those kids, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, like, what the fuck have I done with my life, dude?
Yeah. I mean, it's nuts what these kids do these days. I mean, thanks to YouTube and shit and like Instagram, you know, like, they can learn so much faster. But for sure, there are levels to craft. There are levels to any game. Which brings me, if you're done with that topic,
I'm done.
Let me move on to the next topic that I really, really want to talk about today. Today was like, wow, for a moment in the morning, afternoon, I was like the happiest I've ever been in a good few months, because my boy DC, Daniel Cormier, just won the heavyweight belt in UFC.
Oh, shit.
So he's only the second person in the entire history of UFC to hold 2 simultaneous belts.
What was the
at
other one?
time.
Welterweight, right?
No. Light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
Yeah, so he was a light heavyweight champ. Of course, if you know the history of the UFC and Daniel Cormier, you will know that he has an arch nemesis, John Jones, who has beaten him twice.
Yeah.
But the guy got popped for steroids and another performance enhancing drug.
They were never
twice.
They were never able to pin that on him though, right?
The first one they said tainted supplement. The second one is still ongoing right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Daniel Cormier, yeah, I just saw him win his second belt.
Who was he against?
This guy called Stipe Miocic.
Oh yeah, Miocic.
Basically, at that point, the greatest heavyweight of all time, because he had 3 consecutive heavyweight defenses, which is extremely difficult to do at heavyweight, because it's like you make one mistake, you're gonna get knocked the fuck out. Because those
everyone's
guys,
fucking fists are massive.
yeah,
dude.
those guys are huge, man.
Fuck.
Those guys are huge. Like, so I want to give a shout out to DC. You're probably never gonna watch this, but Jesus, man, that was amazing. That was amazing. That was an amazing moment for me.
How do you win?
He won by knockout.
Spoiler.
Dude, oh shit, nah, fuck lah. By the time this is, dude, even now the news is reporting it. DC knocked out.
Okay, no,
Stipe
but how was
Miocic.
the knockout? Like just the.
Okay, so it's quite sick because DC is an Olympic wrestler. He actually competed in the Olympic Games as wrestler. So everyone knew that he's gonna go for a clinch. But at the same time, also he's been working at the American Kickboxing Academy for a long time.
To get a stand-up game up to point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And his coach is amazing as well, Javier Mendez. So he's been working on his stand-up game. So he won by knockout because everyone knows when DC comes at you, he's going to keep a pace on you that you might not be able to keep up.
Yeah.
And then he's going to keep moving forward. And the thing about fighting is, fighting moving backwards is exhausting compared to fighting moving forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to put a pace on you, which means that you're probably going to gas out first. But if you don't keep moving back and try to avoid him, he's going to clinch up with you. And that's where his Olympic level wrestling comes into play. And when I say it's Olympic, motherfucker he is like 5'10". He has
he's actually a lot smaller than most of the competitors for sure.
Yeah, but pretty heavy.
Yeah,
he's a pretty big guy.
heavy.
He's a pretty big guy.
He looks nothing against him, but you do look fucking pudgy though.
Yeah, he is, which is amazing because this shows you that Daniel Cormier.
He looks pudgy, but he's fucking fast though.
The only reason why he's at that place is because years of hard work and tenacity, you know, and a lot of discipline as well. So he won by basically clinching out his Stipe, which everyone knew was going to happen. But it was damn sick, man. Like when he had, I believe it was the overhook. Yeah, overhook. Then he slipped underneath, limped arm out, underhook. And then when he goes for an underhook, Stipe is trying to block him, stop the hips from connecting. Because if you get the underhook and you connect your hips to the other guy, you can toss him. Yeah, and Daniel Cormier has fucking brought, you can call him DC Airlines because he has brought some people, into
to the air.
Space. So
for sure.
the moment he limped arm, Stipe brought his hands down to stop the hips from coming in. That's where a nice short right hook came in and dropped him. And that was just, dude, for years, man. For years, people have been giving me shit for being a fan of Daniel Cormier, okay? In 2016, I posted a fucking picture on Instagram saying, let's go DC in UFC 200. And people still gave me shit for it. Like, what the fuck? Like,
what?
DC.
I thought he was like, I thought people liked him.
No. Recently only.
Really?
Yeah, now he's starting to get the credit.
I was always thinking that Daniel Cormier was one of those fighters where, like, you just learn to like him because he's tenacious.
And he has a great personality. But
does have
the problem back then was John Jones was around. Yeah. So John Jones has always beaten him. Yeah.
True.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, standing next to John Jones, people always end up fucking rooting for the guy that's a lot louder. And
John Jones is, to be fair, a world beater. To be fair, a world beater, yeah. So very dangerous. And yeah, it's just so crazy that it ended this way because everyone thought DC was probably going to win. If he wins, he's going to win by a decision. And if Stipe wins, it's going to be by knockout. But how the fucking tables have turned, man. Because, and one thing I was talking to my brother this morning, I was saying like, you know what? DC might actually really, really be better at heavyweight because he packs more power. You know, the last time he knocked someone out was like a long time back. I believe
wasn't he saying that every time he has to fight in lightweight, he always has to lose?
Yeah.
Weight?
And he has to diminish himself quite a bit. He has to cut a lot of
So that
weight.
Means he looks a lot healthier at heavyweight, huh?
A lot healthier, a lot pudgier too.
But hey.
But he has some crazy knockout power. And yeah, the last time he knocked someone out, I believe, might have been Strikeforce, which is years ago, or it might have been actually in the UFC, one time only in the UFC. It might be Patrick Cummins, if I'm not wrong. But it doesn't matter. Basically, when he fights a light heavyweight, he just doesn't have that same knockout power. He goes back up to heavyweight, fucking knocks out the best heavyweight so far of all time in UFC history. Fucking Daniel Cormier.
Fucking good on him, man. Fuck.
Yeah, now
I don't even watch UFC that much, but congratulations, Daniel Cormier.
Now I get to say to everyone that gave me shit for it.
Fuck you guys.
Dude, I told y'all DC is the man. Honestly, DC is the man. Yeah, he's just a fucking role model.
Yeah.
Okay, but it looks like we're running out of memory on the camera. We gotta get bigger memory cards.
I think we gotta find a solution to this.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite excited to talk a bit more.
Yeah, this could go on for a long time, man. Oh shit, it's 7:30. Oh no, I gotta meet Vinod.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Okay, we gotta end it here. Once again, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
John, do you want to say something?
No, that's it. We're good.
Okay, then
excellent.
We'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.
Excellent.